How do you feel the different senses affect in the forming of an experience?
I think smell has a lot to do with it. It might depend on a person if you have photographic memory. Like for me, it's mostly pictures I see.
Yeah.
So.
Which senses do you find most important as a part of an experience?
Sight.
Sight.
Feel.
And smell.
Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, without the senses, it's not really an experience, is it? So you sort of have the visual aspect of everything. So, oh, look at how nice and pretty this is. But then there's also, you know, the sounds and the smells and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it just really enhances everything. Like you can visually see something, but you can't really interpret it to its fullest potential without having the sounds and the smells and everything. And it really adds, like you could see one thing and see it as one way, but then when you add your other senses into it, it could be a completely different experience and a completely different feel.
Yeah, it's sort of like seeing a photo
Yeah.
compared to actually doing it.
Like with the Northern Lights, you don't really hear anything either, so it's like that's another thing too, where when you look at a picture of them, yeah, it's quiet, but you don't understand the quietness that you experience from it.
Yeah.
Actually,
And then with the dogs, it's the other way around. You
Yeah.
don't understand that whole noise of them all barking at each other all the time and everything. So, you know, you can see one little cute picture of a husky.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that nice? But then you don't understand everything else.
touch for sure.
Yeah, touch.
Just being able to interact with them.
It definitely added to the experience. It made it actually like it was a part of it all. It sort of helped glue it all together. So it wasn't a negative in that sense. It's just, you know, spending an hour running around in the cold in inadequate clothing is probably more my fault than anything.
Does it make it more authentic?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd be like, you know, if you had a nice heated room and they bought huskies too. I could have done without the cold, maybe. But having said that, it wouldn't be the same doing that
Yeah.
experience in summertime.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a really Finland Arctic experience, like snow, dogs, cold. I can't feel my toes anymore compared to on the side. The smell was kind of overwhelming at first, and I was like, God, if all I'm going to remember is this smell,
Yeah.
I'm going to have a bad time. But eventually I got used to it. But if there was some like over-prevailing, you know, good or bad thing, it's like you're obviously going to associate with that more than any of the other ones. So
It's interesting too, because if you were to take everything else out from that experience other than the smell, then it would be something that I would never want to do that ever again. But with the smell and with everything else involved with it, not a bad experience at all. Like I could have stayed there all day and the smell wouldn't have bothered me. I think it would be really interesting if you took the experience that we had during the day and then you had the same experience at night where it's darker, because I think that would be much more intimidating, like having to walk through the woods and not being able to see as much, and you don't really, like, all the dogs are so close, you don't really know like whose house you're stepping into, and I think it would be a completely different experience if it was in the dark versus in the light. I don't know what sense it would relate to, but like being able to play with the dogs, you're not necessarily touching the dogs or petting the dogs, but you're looking at them,
you're
I was
interacting with them.
yeah, I was talking to them, so I don't know, just that, I think that was a really big part. I was kind of surprised that we were able to walk freely around with all the dogs, but it wouldn't have really been an experience for me if I wasn't able to interact with them and play with them.
Immersive.
Yes, it's a
So
good word.
you sort of become a part of everything that's happening rather than an observer.
Yeah.
So like, you know, again, going back to the video analogy, you can watch, you know, huskies running through fields and playing and stuff, but when you're actually there, you're like in it and doing it, a part of everything.
For the husky farm, I think if it lacked one or two senses, I think it definitely would have affected.
Like you have to have everything sort of come together to make it a sort of a memorable thing that happens. Like when I smell a bunch of gross dogs now, I'm gonna think of husky safaris, and it's actually gonna be kind of a cool thing, rather than it's a gross dog smell. It's like, oh yeah, it's fun dog playtime. So, yeah, that one time in Lapland when we were playing with some dogs.
I think too when you look back at the memory, and you're able to like thinking about it now, like I can remember the dogs barking, I can hear them barking, I can smell the air, I can feel their fur.
The ice caking up in their fur.
Yeah. I can remember all of that, and it brings a more wholesome effect to the memory, whereas things that I've remembered from a long time ago, it might just be I only remember seeing this, I only remember hearing that, and it's very fragmented compared to the memory I have of the husky farm.
Yes.